Hello everyone and welcome to Victoria's Cantina, where today we're taking a look at the Mattel Jurassic World Dominion Extreme Damage Owen and Velociraptor Blue Pursuit Pack. Alright, so you guys have been asking for it. I'm going to give it to you today. Here we are, a Jurassic World Mattel review. It's been a minute since we've done one. I think last fall we did Amber Collection, Sam Neill, and here we are doing the very first Dominion product that I have added to my personal collection since these toys have started leaking out. Actually, this wasn't really a leak because it went up on Walmart.com, and just because Walmart sometimes does weird things, it arrived the next day. Somehow that happened. So I'm glad to have it. The very first toy from Dominion for me, and we're going to give it a very thorough, very detailed, run-of-the-mill VC review. So sit back, relax, and let's talk packaging here. Now, this is a brand new packaging aesthetic that we have not seen before because it is exclusive to Dominion. It is also part of the Extreme Damage aesthetic. And take a look at that Rex render. I was just thinking about back in 2015 when I was reviewing Jurassic World toys and how awful and atrocious the Rex looked on that packaging. I mean, yeah, it's the stuff of nightmares. They've come a long way. I think this is one of the best overall packaging looks that they've done so far. And I think it just looks great with the Dominion logo there. And you can see everything that you get in the set. You can see your dinosaur. You can see your two human figures. Even though only one is called out on packaging, you actually get two figures in this pack. At the back, you can see the figures in action. There's Velociraptor Blue. It does indicate the double-sided damage, which I really do like. I like how they did that on the T-Rex that came out last year, as well as on the Indominus Rex they did last year. Scan to unlock. This is the new scan feature. I've never used it before. This will be my first time trying it out. And then you can see that there is a utility tool included because Owen's always got to have his weapon with him, his knife. You can also get the Allosaurus, which was available for pre-order previously on Walmart's website. Up at the top, basically is what it is, some scratches. You can see that there is a puncture here in the box. That's how it arrived. Whatever, I'm going to open it anyway. Same thing here on the sides, Dominion logo. And on the other side, more scratches. And here is the bottom right there, barcode, just in case you need it. All right, so let's do this. Let's go ahead and take a moment, get everything out of the packaging. When we come back, we'll take a closer, detailed look at the contents of this Pursuit pack. All right, you guys, so here are the contents of the box out of the packaging. And as you can see, these look pretty good considering the price of $21.97. Not all that bad. And the back of the box does indicate that this character's, and I hear that this is Brad Jost of the Jurassic Park podcast's favorite character from Dominion, Rainn Delacourt. And he's apparently a brand new character, I guess, in the movie. We haven't really seen anything in trailers about him or anything, but so we have a figure of him. I know he's appearing in lots of Lego sets too. So this is our first introduction to him, really, is through merchandising. Why don't we first go ahead and focus on Owen? So honestly, you guys, if you've seen one Owen figure, you've seen them all. We've been getting the same exact figure since 2018, so in 4 years now. And here he is once again. And this is basically a repaint of the previously released Owen from other years. So, I mean, nothing too exciting. If you know what you got with that figure, you're getting the same thing with this figure with one exception. Actually, two exceptions. So this time the shirt is painted red. Previously, obviously, it was painted blue. Same sculpt, same jeans, same belt, same shoes. One new thing about the figure, though, is that he now has a sheath for his knife. So the knife right here, itty bitty little accessory, perfectly adequate for what it is. You can now sheath it into the sheath right there, the knife holster, if you will. And it just kind of goes in like that. And, it stays put, not coming out. I like that. I think that's a nicer detail than what we had before. It's a minor thing again, but I definitely like seeing if we're going to get the same figures over and over again, they may as well upgrade them because, add something a little different, give you a little more incentive to purchase it. The likeness is pretty good. I think that they've dialed in the paint techniques because it does look a little bit more on spot on than it did before. It has a better likeness. And I think that's due to whatever changes they've made in their painting processes. Other than that, again, same sculpt. I would say that the pants, though, do look a little more textured. So they definitely did a little bit of modifications with this, but it's essentially the same Owen from before, just slightly tweaked, as you can see. But I do like how you have a little bit more of texturing there on the pants. Again, slight details that are very minor, but do incentivize adding an additional version of the figure to your collection. Shoes look to be the same color as before. Articulation, no surprise here. It's going to be the same as before. So a little bit of a ball joint there at the head. Not the best movement, unfortunately. It's actually a very tightly placed head. Here at the shoulders, you'd have insert molded connections. Same thing at both of the elbows. So you can bend them. You can rotate them. Nothing at the wrist. That's a big bummer, because for a long time I've said, hey, these figures need to have wrists at the bare minimum in addition to what else they have here. We didn't get that. Silver here at the waist, insert molded connections at both of the hips right there, so you can do a nice split. You can go forward, and then the same sort of thing here at the knee. So good bend right there, rotate, and then nothing at the ankle. So basically it's in line with what we saw back for the Fallen Kingdom line in 2018. All right, and here is Rainn, or as I like to call this figure, Chris from Jurassic Outpost. Definitely see a little bit of a resemblance there. It looks pretty nice. I do think this figure shares some parts with Owen, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But if you look at it, it's pretty nice, proportionately nice. Again, we know nothing about this character yet. All we know is this figure and the Lego minifigures that are coming with those sets. But I gotta say, it looks pretty decent. I think the face looks quite nice. If you wanted to modify the figure and make him somebody else, maybe for religious purposes or whatnot, you could probably do that. But yeah, good look there at his face. Again, nicely painted. Yeah, I almost thought it kind of looked like it could be like Owen's twin brother or something. Like if you look at him right here, they have a resemblance, right? I almost thought maybe it was like Owen in disguise or something, but definitely a different head sculpt with longer hair and a bit of a beard. The outfit, as you can see, he's got a very dark, almost like a plum colored shirt that he's wearing. And then he has this overcoat that is more of like a charcoal color. And I think it looks pretty good. The gloves actually match perfectly to his shirt right there. Same color there. And then he's got these pants underneath. And yeah, you can see a little bit of like a striping there on the front of them. And when I was looking at the Owen figure, looking at the lower parts of the legs, it seems like they use the same renders or the same digital sculpts for the legs, because the creases in the pants are actually exactly the same, like on the lower parts of the legs. If you look at where the creases fall, like the sculpts are exactly the same. It's just, this is textured more in Owen, but they definitely use the same renders. So very interesting. The shoes, basically the same as the Owen shoes. Same shape and everything right there. So interesting. Articulation's going to be exactly the same. So you do have a ball joint. You don't get really good movement side to side, sure, but nothing else, because the long hair kind of hinders somewhat. Shoulders are going to be the same. Elbows are going to be the same. Not a full 90-degree bend. Nothing here at the wrists. Waist does have a twist, and then you have the same articulation as Owen for both of the hips, and same thing for both of the knees. So again, very typical for Mattel's Jurassic action figures. All right, and last but not least, we have Velociraptor Blue. Now, Mattel has done so many versions of Blue over the years, so this is just another version. But this is actually seems to be a redone sculpt. I do appreciate them doing that with the Raptors, because if you have them all in the same poses, like all the repaints they've done, it kind of makes it hard to put them on the shelf, because they all kind of look the same. So I do like that they're mixing it up with a new sculpt here. The coloring does seem to be in line with previous Blue figures, especially the Battle Damage Blue, which I think is pretty much universally agreed upon to be the best version of Blue they've done in the scale. But I would say this is probably going to be second place. I don't think it looks as good as the Battle Damage version, but it still looks pretty good. Give you a close-up look here at her face. So the face does look a little bit more, I almost want to say she doesn't look as cutesy maybe as the Fallen Kingdom one did. I know that one was a little bit more, not cutesy, but because it does have a very accurate sculpt, but just a little more friendly, if you will. This one looks a little bit more animalistic, a little more I don't want to say mean, but she looks a little more wild or something. And maybe that's due to just how it's painted, because you do have some really nice detail here with the striping. I love how they put that outer layer of the white, because they don't do that on all the blue figures, but on the battle damage one they did. I think on one of the Savage Strike ones they did maybe. So that's really nice. Here's the other side of her head. Of course, the blue doesn't extend to her eye. The eye paint itself, it may not be 100%. Like, this eye looks pretty good. This one is a little bit out of place, ever so slightly. But, you know, that's kind of a thing with Mattel's Jurassic line. And, but I think she looks pretty good. I do like the sculpt. The tail, I was a little concerned about, because when I first saw pictures of it, I thought, hey, that tail looks a little bit too thick maybe towards the end. And it is, I mean, but it is a toy too, right? It's supposed to be a very entry-level accessible toy. So, I do understand, that, but it doesn't look as bad as I thought it was going to be. It's a nice sculpt. I really dig it. This is one of the best Raptors sculpts that they've done. The arms, unfortunately, they didn't paint her claws here, but the sculpting is nice on them. The legs look good. They did paint her claws there, sickle claws and her toe claws. So that is nice that they did that. So there's no scan code here. Now, scan code. So this is different than before. Basically what you got to do is you're going to find this little notch right there. It has a little indentation for your finger. You're going to grab it and you're going to pull it out, and you're going to scan that. If you have the updated version of the Jurassic Facts app, that is how you're going to access the code and add her to your virtual Jurassic Facts dinosaur collection. So it's different. Aesthetically, I don't know that I think that aesthetically that this would have been better. They would have continued putting them on the feet. But hey, they mixed it up, I guess. It's a new movie. Why not? In addition to that, let's talk about the paint. So the paint overall, other than what I was saying about this up here, is pretty consistent with previously released blues. You have that kind of like lemon meringue color down here, and then more of this silvery gray color on her back. And I think that looks really nice. I love how the paint extends very far down her tail, because as we all know, Mattel doesn't always do that. So it's nice that they did it here. So we're going to talk articulation, then we'll go into the action feature. So you can open up her jaw like that. Okay, so more posing options. And then she does have a ball hinge at the head, just like the Battle Damage Blue did, just like the Savage Strikes Blue and some of those Raptors did. And you can actually rotate it like that. So pretty nice. I think I would have preferred if they would have given it a little bit more space so that she could look down a little more, but this is actually pretty good. I do like that. You do have your insert molded joints here at both of the shoulders. And then for the legs, those are basically just on swivels. So they do go back and forth a little bit. They are very hard, and you got to kind of pull them. And the tail does rotate as well. I don't know why you'd want to do that, because it would throw the stripe off, but you could do that. So there's a button right here, and we do have our extreme damage, so you can see it on both sides of her torso. And if you press on that button, this is what happens. Okay, now she's back to normal, kind of, sort of. You can still see the nasty cuts. But if you press it again, battle damage. Extreme damage, sorry. We'll do it again. Okay, normal-ish. Bloody. Would you like her well done or medium rare? Up to you. I do like this type of battle damage. I think that it worked really well in the previous releases where they implemented this, and it's a fun addition to this figure as well. So overall, I really like this blue more than I thought I was going to. So even if you have other Velociraptor blues, I would say that this is certainly one worth picking up, with the added bonus that you get the 2 action figures with her. I think it's a pretty nice set for the price. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so there you have it. This is the Mattel Jurassic World Extreme Damage Owen in Blue and Rainn Delacourt Pursuit Pack. Now, the name Pursuit Pack, does that indicate that they will be pursuing Blue in some capacity, both of these characters? Or is Rainn a villain? Who knows? I have no clue. No spoilers, please, if you do know in the comments, because we want to wait until the movie comes out. But I really dig this set, you guys. For the price, I think 2 figures and Velociraptor Blue is quite fair. And they're nice figures. I know that Mattel hasn't really evolved their 3 3/4 inch human figures all that much since 2018, but considering what they do give you and considering how nice the Velociraptor Blue figure is, I am pretty pleased with what we're getting here in this set. So certainly I do recommend it. If you're able to pick it up, it is a Walmart exclusive in the US. I do think that it is worth it, so certainly check it out. All right, my friends, I would like to thank you for tuning in to this review. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. What do you think about this set? Will you be adding it to your collection? Be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe. Follow me online on the socials, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, all that stuff. Victoria's Cantina. We've been doing reviews since 2013. And here we are doing some more. 9th anniversary this year. Appreciate you guys who've been here with us since the beginning. Stay tuned for more coming soon. As always, no matter where you're tuning in from out in the galaxy, I'd like to thank you for watching Victoria's Cantina. Till next time, bye-bye.